up on this edition of Carolina Week, UNC made headlines after an academic fraud scandal. So how did the bad publicity affect applications?
College can be challenging for anyone, but some first-generation college students say they're facing even more hurdles.
We'll introduce you to a mixed martial arts powerhouse whose biggest fight was making it to America. All of that and more, Carolina Week starts right now.
From the UNC School of Media and Journalism, covering Carolina in HD, this is Carolina Week.
More drama in the race for student body president. Good afternoon, I'm Alex Perret.
And I'm Sharon Nunn. Accusations, disqualifications, and appeals. We've seen it all this election season. And now student body elections are being put on hold until further notice. Reporter Danielle Wallace joins us live from the Student Union with the latest on this rocky campaign. Danielle?
Sharon, the word rocky is an understatement. The UNC Supreme Court announced late last night that they are halting the student body president elections. The decision came after former presidential candidate Travis Broadhurst filed a complaint against the UNC Board of Elections. Broadhurst claims that the electronic ballot signatures of the current candidates weren't verified. To give you an idea of how quickly things change in this election, just last night, presidential candidates Elizabeth Atkins and Morris Greer met for two public debates where they outlined their platforms. Atkins and Greer are the only remaining candidates out of an original 6. The other candidates either dropped out of the race or were disqualified by the Board of Elections for campaign violations. Now it's unclear if and when Atkins and Greer will continue their campaigns. So how do students feel about all the drama surrounding the race for student body president? We went to the pit to find out.
I think it has definitely created a lot of confusion about kind of the process and if this has happened before.
I don't think that the elections should have been pushed back. It would have been better, I think, to just address the issues now and then kind of move forward with them.
I'm just surprised. I'm confused mainly, but I'm surprised that everyone is implicated.
The student body presidential election usually takes place at the beginning of February. Obviously, we're way past that date. The Student Supreme Court has not said when they'll make a decision on Broadhurst's complaint or when the election for student body president will be allowed to continue. Sharon.
Danielle Wallace live from the Student Union. Thanks, Danielle. And when it comes to applying to college, a school's academic reputation can be very important.
But what happens when a reputation is damaged? Reporter Drew Kurzman takes a look at unexpected trends in the admissions of the wake of academic scandal.
It's been more than 2 years since the publication of the Weinstein Report, a document revealing the wide reaches of academic fraud at UNC. Years later, here in Hamilton Hall, UNC history professor Jay Smith still isn't satisfied.
UNC has committed 2 decades worth of academic fraud that clearly advantaged its athletic programs. And it seems to me that an honorable institution would want to make amends for that. I think all of the universities that operate at this level and that compete at this level operate with the same pressures. They want the best athletes they can get, and that means they're going to cut corners academically.
But how did the scandal affect UNC? Looking at admissions data tells an interesting story. This is a chart of application numbers over a 10-year period. The academic scandal broke here in 2011. Immediately after the scandal, undergraduate application numbers took a sharp and noticeable increase, and graduate applications reached their highest value ever across 40 years of data. Only transfer application numbers seemed unaffected. We asked Senior Assistant Director of Admissions, Ashley Memory, if her team found the data surprising.
Well, we're thrilled by that. We're absolutely thrilled that students are willing to move with us as we move forward.
But Smith still sees the scandal as a way to spur meaningful change.
Give up some championships that they won while athletes were clearly playing under a different set of rules from all of their competitors. That would be a very symbolic but also meaningful step that would indicate to the world that UNC has its priorities straight again.
The Office of the Chancellor could not be reached for comment, but UNC's website details over 70 reforms made in the wake of the scandal and promises an ongoing commitment to moving forward. From Chapel Hill, I'm Drew Kurzman, reporting.
We reached out to the admissions office to find out what effect the common application may have had on admissions numbers, but they did not get back with us.
College is notoriously difficult, but officials say it especially is difficult for first-generation college students. Donnie Holloway reports.
Brittany Daniels sits in her microbiology class. That's right, microbiology.
We call that MRSA or MRSA.
A tough class, even with a professor who's willing to help.
Right? Okay, so let's look at this.
But the Rocky Mount sophomore is happy to be here and happy to be in college.
I grew up surrounded by a lot of negativity, and I wanted more for myself.
Wanting more isn't easy, and even the decision to attend college at all was a tough one.
My mom couldn't really help me. My family couldn't really help me. A lot of them didn't even receive a high school education.
She's not alone. Nearly 20% of undergraduates at UNC are first-generation college students. Nationally, the number is closer to 50%. There is help. Carmen Huerta Bapat is director of the Carolina First program, the group that helps first-generation college students.
It's a rough transition. It definitely is a rough transition. We do a lot of programming and supports to try to make that transition a little bit smoother.
First-generation college students can come here to Still Building to meet with Carolina First advisors to receive mentoring, career guidance, and resources that they may not receive at home. For Daniels, attending college is an opportunity to change the narrative of her family.
I get to be that difference, okay? I get to really live and embody that difference.
Some might call that the Carolina way. In Chapel Hill, I'm Donnie Holloway reporting.
Carolina has seen a gradual rise in the number of first-generation students over the past 10 years.
New developments concerning House Bill 2. Lawmakers gave Governor Cooper a repeal bill, but it's causing controversy of its own. Reporter Danielle Schaefer is live in the studio with more. Danielle?
That's right, Alex. House Republicans and local business executives are rallying behind the repeal bill, HB 186. But many Democrats, including Governor Cooper, say the new bill continues to hold back progress. What they're worried about is a new specific provision that would allow cities to override the repeal of HB 2. Even though HB 2 would be gone, cities and counties would technically still be able to decide if they want to extend non-discrimination protections to the LGBT community. Alex, back to you.
Danielle Schaefer live in the studio. Thanks, Danielle. When Carolina Week returns...
Are your social media accounts actually making you more antisocial? We'll tell you more about smartphone stress coming up next.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, babe.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
We all remember Chapel Hill's water crisis back in early February when a 1-2 punch left residents without water for an entire weekend. And one of those punches was an overfeed of fluoride into a water treatment plant.
Reporter Erin Wygant joins us now to explain how that overfeed has put residents on edge.
Thanks, Alex. I'm standing in front of the Jones Ferry Road water treatment plant where the fluoride overfeed happened in early February. This has since sparked a community debate as to whether or not Orange County Water and Sewer Authority, known as OWASA, should even add fluoride to the water. Corey Strumer doesn't feel safe drinking Chapel Hill water.
I won't drink it.
It's the fluoride he's worried about. He's been fighting water fluoridation ever since he was diagnosed with fluorosis 5 years ago.
They said it's basically like white spotting and degradation of the enamel.
Fluorosis is caused by an overexposure to fluoride, something many of us use on a daily basis. Open up your cabinet. You'll find it's in your mouthwash and toothpaste, and the label clearly says do not swallow. So why is it in our drinking water?
This is a low level of fluoride that's enough to help stop decay, but it's not enough, like happens in toothpaste if you swallow it, to cause damage.
One of Dr. Slade's studies found fluoridated water reduced tooth decay by 25%.
It's bathing the teeth. Not 24/7, but every time you have a sip of water, or maybe you're just having a cup of tea.
But the fluoridation debate doesn't end with science.
The board shouldn't have any authority, even with a majority vote, to medicate the water supply.
Stroomer and other members of fluoride-free Chapel Hill and Carrboro have petitioned OWASA for a public referendum that would enable the community to vote. But
OWASA doesn't have the legal authority to have that kind of referendum.
this is because the OWASA board was appointed by Chapel Hill Town Council, who the community elected, meaning one way to change fluoridation is to elect new town council members.
I just can't get over the fact that they do it. It is medication. They are drugging the water supply, but they don't have any credentials to do that.
Next week, OWASA will hold a discussion about whether or not they need to review the process of fluoridation. Back to you, Alex.
Erin Weingart at the OWASA Water Treatment Plant. Thanks, Erin.
The Tony Award-winning Broadway musical Hamilton is coming to Durham. I am so excited about this for the 2018-2019 season. Durham is one of more than 30 cities in the Hamilton National Tour, with more to be announced. The first to have access to these tickets will be those who purchased 2017-2018 season seats and chose to renew for the following season. DPAC has not announced running dates or ticket prices yet.
Experts say there could be a serious threat that's stripping away the sense of community here at UNC. Reporter Katie Kamen joins us live from the pit with more. Katie?
That's right, Alex. The threat they're talking about is right here on our phones. Recent studies show average social media users spend 120 minutes a day checking their account, which could be bad news for their social lives.
In the pit, in the quad, and even just walking to class, students are glued to their phones, checking social media.
I would say I use social media like every hour of every day. I'm that person that's like walking to class and is like looking down at their phone and then bumps into someone.
A nonprofit organization called Anxiety says that there are 3 types of social media stresses. The first is the compare and despair factor, where users compare their seemingly average lives to the more exciting ones they see on social media.
There is a lot of pressure to look like other people and act like other people, and especially with college stuff, like both social and like career wise, like you see all these people like doing all these amazing internships and stuff, and it gets really overwhelming.
The fear of missing out, or FOMO, when users feel pressure to participate in a certain activity just so that they don't have to watch it on social media later and feel excluded.
I have a total like FOMO anxiety every single time. Like if my friends are hanging out and they post a Snapchat story, like I get like so sad.
And addiction, where withdrawal symptoms and a sense of dependency are present daily.
I get really anxious if I like don't have it near me or I don't know where it is. If it dies when I'm out at night, I feel really weird. I almost feel unsafe.
While social media might feel social, psychologists say it isn't. In her book, The Village Effect, Dr. Susan Pinker says, face-to-face contact matters. Tight bonds of friendship and love heal us, help children learn, extend our lives, and make us happy. Not just any social networks will do. We need the real, in-the-flesh encounters. UNC student Shannon Farrell agrees. She deleted her Instagram account last month and hopes others will follow her lead.
I realized it wasn't really adding anything to my life, so I just figured I'd take it out altogether.
These issues don't just affect students. An estimated 68% of American adults use Facebook and 28% use Instagram. Cutting back on social media was one of this year's top New Year's resolutions. Alex?
Katie Kamen live in the pit. Thanks, Katie.
Today started off sunny, but the clouds are clearly rolling in.
Is severe weather in our future? Meteorologist Alex Clement has the forecast coming up next.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
The brilliant meteorologist Alex Komet is here with weather. It's been a pretty warm week, so is there a hint that there should be some showers on the way for us?
Actually, yes. All of the warm weather that we've been having has a lot of moisture in it, and that moisture is holding a lot of energy. There is a mass of cooler air that's moving through the area, and it's going to lift that and give us a chance for some severe weather coming up overnight and tonight. But it looks like a pretty great week coming up soon. If we take a look at this map here, you can see that all of North Carolina is in a risk for severe weather, but the central and western part of the state are in an enhanced risk. Earlier today, the mountains in northern Tennessee were in a severe risk, but as this is moving forward, they're definitely bringing it over, and all the counties in the western North Carolina area are in a severe weather alert until 10 o'clock tonight. If you take a look at our radar, you can see that right now there's no rain over the triangle right now. It will be moving in soon, so if you see a passing shower or two coming up, don't be surprised. If you take a look at the surface map, you can see that earlier today, here's that line of thunderstorms that's being pushed over by this cold front here. And behind that is an area of high pressure that's going to bring us some nice weather tomorrow, but that cool air is going to be lifting that moisture and causing those severe storms as it moves through the state in the overnight hours. If we look for tomorrow, you can see this high pressure is in place here. We have sunshine on tap and a beautiful day. There's another cold front that's behind this moving through, and the motion of this high pressure is going to be pouring in some cooler air. So as we move into the weekend, we will see a bit of a cool down as well. So don't put your jackets away yet because the freezing temperatures aren't out of here quite yet. Today, we topped out at 78 degrees. Passing clouds, gusty, winds from the east. We will see those showers move in later. We do have a chance of thunderstorms early. It will be overcast, and we have a low of 48 because after that cold front moves through the area, it will clear out, allowing the temperature to drop, allowing the heat to escape, and then that's where we have the beautiful day coming into play tomorrow. As you leave the house at 8 a.m., we have 47 degrees with sunshine. We have 55 by noon, and then we have 59 by the end of the day, which also happens to be our high for Thursday. And then for our basketball forecast, Saturday we have a rematch. We're at 8 o'clock, 42 degrees. As you come out, it will be 38, but a clear night. A light jacket might not be a bad idea if you're going out to the game. Definitely something to keep in mind. If you're headed out to the beach this weekend, it is a cool weekend. Beautiful weekend, though. Just definitely one for the windbreaker. And then as we look forward to our 5-day forecast, you can see we definitely have that cool down coming up with some temperatures in the low 30s, even down to freezing as we get into the weekend. But then we rebound back into the 70s on Monday.
Very nice start to the week. So I saw on Saturday during the Duke game, whenever all the students are going to be waiting, that it's going to be like 50 degrees. So that should be pretty tolerable for that whole time until 8 p.m., right?
Pretty tolerable. Definitely a light jacket might be a good idea to keep around for you. But as far as severe weather goes, I think that tonight's going to be our best bet at that. But then we have a great week coming up soon. Cooler than we've been used to here lately. Yeah. A little more seasonable, but beautiful weather and sunshine on tap. So.
Awesome. Well, I'm ready for warm weather to stick around. But when Carolina Week returns, it's a rivalry week for men's basketball team.
We'll get you prepared for the rematch with Duke this Saturday.
With the groove, show move, keep it smooth as I bust the move. Ayo, step in swiftly with me. 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it. My support team never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew who I could become as a person. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hello and welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Brett Thompson. Happy Duke Week, everybody. The 5th-ranked men's basketball team hosts the 17th-ranked Blue Devils this weekend for senior night, featuring a matchup between Naismith Awards semifinalists Justin Jackson and Luke Kennard. Let's catch up on what our neighbors down Tobacco Road have been up to since the previous meeting. Duke has gone 4-2 since its win against the Tar Heels, although the Devils have been eking out wins, beating Clemson and Wake Forest by a combined 6 points. The Blue Devils lost close ones at Syracuse and Miami last week before finally getting some mojo back against Florida State at Cameron Tuesday night on senior night. But Carolina doesn't quite carry that same momentum into Saturday after dropping a tough one in Charlottesville Monday night. Let's take a look at what went wrong for the Heels. It was a raucous crowd at John Paul Jones Arena Monday night as the UNC opened up on fire with some Pinson point passing. Theo Pinson to Tony Bradley for the jam. But Virginia countered with some inside offense of its own, beating the Heels at their own game down low. And turnovers like this travel coming up by Isaiah Hicks led to points by UVA on the other end as the Cavs pulled away for a 53-43 win, giving Wahoo fans something to cheer about and Roy Williams something to complain about.
We want to try to get something more inside and dominate the boards a heck of a lot more, and we get 10 offensive rebounds, they get 13, so that's not dominating the boards.
And one of the biggest reasons UNC has struggled inside is that the Heels can't keep one of their best big men on the floor. Take a look at this stat. In Isaiah Hicks' past 3 games, he's picked up 13 fouls and scored just 10 points. 10 points! He missed the first Duke game with a hamstring injury. So last time these two teams met, it was another classic back-and-forth battle decided in the final minutes. Duke pulled away late, but here's what North Carolina did to keep the Devils in the game. Defensively, Carolina left the Devils open, and that backcourt of Grayson Allen and Luke Kennard scorched the Heels for a combined 9 of 17 from deep. And on offense, the Heels simply couldn't make free throws, going a paltry 10 of 18 from the charity stripe. Guys, it's no coincidence that UNC lost that game, you guessed it, by 8 points. But that was at Cameron Indoor, and this game will be in the friendly confines of the Dean Smith Center, where Carolina is undefeated this season. With students clamoring for tickets to the game, and many upset that the lottery once again conspired against them. I know the feeling, guys. Our Paul Beam introduced UNC students to Duke's ticket distribution method.
Most UNC students know that a random lottery determines who gets student tickets to men's basketball games. Carolina students are also aware of the tradition of tenters in Duke's famous Krzyzewski. What some students might not know is that in order to determine which tent gets into Duke games first, students must take an exam about the history of Duke basketball. A lot of UNC students don't like the lottery system, so that begs the question, what if the systems were reversed? I went to the Pit, the hub of life on UNC's campus, to see how students would do on my test.
Michael Jordan, 23. Phil Ford, 6.
Maybe Ford with, I don't know his number, and so I don't know at all.
Tyler Hansborough, number 40. Let's see, Antoine Jamison, 30.
93, right? I don't know the other years.
In the 50s, 1980 something, right? 90s, I don't know. That's before my time. White flag, raise the white flag.
UCLA.
Then Duke. I'm gonna go Kentucky.
Kentucky is the right answer. So you got 2 of the 5. That's pretty impressive. You would definitely be a phase 1 ticket so far.
Seriously?
Seriously. Well, I guess what we learned here is that you might not like the lottery, but remember, things could always be worse. In Chapel Hill, I'm Paul Beam reporting.
Well, definitely our system is better regardless because we're better than Duke. So
I can feel the energy all over campus for this game, so thanks so much, Brett, for those updates. Up next, we'll introduce you to a local refugee with big fists and even bigger dreams.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
I can't seem to save anything.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Orange County is home to almost 3,000 refugees from Burma.
Reporter Laura Brache met a special young man who lifts more than just that weight on his shoulders.
That's Musso. Standing 4 feet 10 inches tall and weighing 80 pounds, he hopes to become an MMA fighter.
My goal is to start amateur and make my way up into the pro and go into the UFC.
Mu is a 9th grader at Chapel Hill High School. And after class, he spends most of his time in the weight room or following the MMA.
MMA stands for mixed martial art, and it's when you combine all the fighting styles.
Mu got involved in MMA fighting with his friends from school. He trains every day from when the bell rings to grow bigger and stronger. Mu is also one of the many Karen refugees resettled in Chapel Hill.
We came from a camp called Mela, and I moved when I was 6 years old in 2008.
He remembers being picked on by the bigger and older kids in Thailand.
I don't know, I had some bullies back there because I was a little kid. They would throw my backpack in the river and get my papers all wet.
Mu looks up to Irish MMA fighter Conor McGregor, who he hopes to meet in the near future. But as a Chapel Hill implant, Mu also has a favorite ACC team.
I like UNC because I live in Chapel Hill and my parents work at UNC. And I know a lot of friends and people that go to UNC.
And maybe he'll become a Tar Heel one day after he bulks up for the MMA. In Chapel Hill, I'm Laura Brache reporting.
Yeah, little kid is mad impressive. Jeez.
That's a crazy, crazy cool, inspiring story, although it looks like he still has some work to do on muscle mass, but very cool for him. So that does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching and good night.